and last final of the weekend here today on Sunday at Cremona. It's the OKN Junior final, 18 laps and 22 kilometres. Yesterday was an interesting day for the juniors in the final. It was Kasper Reipold who took the win from William Marshall and Toby Gale. What will happen this time around? Because your winner yesterday starts on pole position. He'll have Egon Prodotti alongside. Ella Häkkinen and Xavier Dudkowski go from row number 2. Then it's Leonidas Peruzzi and James Anagnostiidis, who started on pole today. He starts from the 3rd row of the grid for this one. Toby Gale, who had a terrible qualifying earlier on again, certainly made his way through. He starts alongside Enna Pizzuto on row number 4. Through the starting spots then for our drivers as they get going for this final. It's 18 laps, 21.7 kilometre race distance. First question is, does everyone get started up? Struggling a little bit at the back for Axel Nocom, but he gets away well. So everyone getting away and starting at the beginning of this one. We are going to have a near full race start. 30 drivers as the mechanics run off the circuit, probably the most running that they've done this weekend off that grid. But great to see that the mechanics working hard this weekend. You know, it's all down to the driver on track, but the marshals do a lot of the hard work off the track, behind the scenes, that you don't get to see. Once again, final time for the juniors. It was a dramatic final yesterday. Kasper Reipold, William Marshall and Toby Gale, 1, 2, 3. Are we going to see a similar story today? For William Marshall, well, he starts 20th on the 10th row of the grid. He was on the podium yesterday. It's going to be a tough fight for him all the way throughout this field. Question is, can he do it? For Kasper Reipold, he's in the best possible starting position to get away with another final win this weekend. Only question is, can he maintain that going into this one? For Ella Häkkinen, the chance of being on a podium is very, very high in this final. What can she do from that 2nd row of the grid? James Anagnostiidis as well, the driver from Australia, just off the podium yesterday. He is looking for a podium finish here. So much pressure has been put on these drivers. Eyes of the world watching as they get ready to go racing here. The longest race they have this weekend, the same as the final distance that they had yesterday, where we saw some fantastic battling all the way throughout. Retirements came in thick and fast earlier on, though, in the junior category in the qualifying heats, in the wet conditions. So many drivers struggled as it was their first time racing here. 1 at the circuit, and 2 for some of them, in first time in their rainy conditions. So again, a discovery series for them. We're seeing so many new drivers being shown this weekend. Really seeing some unseen talent from around the world. Here we go then, into the tram lines. It looks good at the front. It is Reipold and Prodotti on the front row. Lights go green. Here we go, down towards turn 1. And it's a great start from the inside row. Reipold, Häkkinen and Peruzzi. 1, 2, 3 as they dive down in towards turn number 3. On the outside there, you can see Toby Gale, who's already up into P4. He's battling away with James Anagnostiidis, who gets kicked to the outside there. There you can see the 35 making their way through. I think that's a little further down the order. It might be Sada Matsui actually in the 24 that's gaining those positions. Had a brilliant start from the 9th spot off the grid. All of them heading down in towards the turn 8 hairpin, but it's a clear breakaway for Kasper Reipold, who is opening up a gap here. Exactly what he did yesterday. The ultimate question is can he maintain that one? Down the inside, Sada Matsui again trying to get those positions. She does get it. Down the inside of Toby Gale and moves up another position, wheel to wheel. Kesa Ziza tries to fight through as well and successfully does so. As they make their way across the start-finish line, let's take you through the starting lineup then. It's Reipold from Häkkinen, it's Peruzzi from Agnostiidis, then it's Matsui, Aziza, Gale, then it's Prodotti, Schilkenate and Max Murray, the top 10. Eyes on this battle here as Isaac Say is under investigation. That will most likely be for the start, maybe out of position. So we'll have to be careful for the rest of this race. Big send down the inside, through goes Leonardo Peruzzi on Ella Häkkinen. James Anagnostiidis tries to send it down the inside as well. Do they make it work? Yes, they do. They both get through. But James Anagnostidis will have to be careful there. He's got a big dent on that front bumper, the same as Jonas Peruzzi at the moment. So those opening stages have been a bit feisty. Change again as Anagnostidis is up into second place, and he is hunting down now Kasper Reipold in the race lead. Ella Häkkinen staying there in P4. What a showing, what a performance from Ella Häkkinen. The gap is just half a second separating the top four, and there's the change for the lead. Down the inside, it is James Anagnostidis from Australia who takes the lead of this one. He started P6 on lap 1, on lap 3. He's in the race lead. Peruzzi is there in second place. Reipold down to third, and now has to contend with the likes of Ella Häkkinen. Kees Aziza is still there in P5 from Sara Matsui, off the track and running out of the way. That looks to me like the 45 of Christian Ebras, unfortunately, who's out of this race. Vera Jurand as well, I think, has dropped down a little bit, as well as running in 29th now, has gone up to that position. But eyes on these top four as they go into yellow flags in towards turn 1. No overtaking will be permitted in this section. They have to wait until they've gone past the green flag, which is there at Marshall Post 2. So now they can go racing again. And is anyone going to capitalise on the green flag conditions? No, they stay line astern. Well, we're on lap 4 now, as the race has slightly calmed down now. These top four just line astern, waiting, I think, for a mistake. Really closing in there was Peruzzi. 3 places gained in this race. Really showing a strong performance today compared to yesterday as well. I mean, this is a much better performance for Peruzzi, finishing P15 yesterday after he started 20th. He's lost out again now. Reipold back down the inside. Now that's given a bit of a breathing space for James Anagnostidis. He's broken away now. He's clear by 0.4 of a second. Reipold's really going to have to dig in deep here. Ella Häkkinen's in a bit of a, well, he's in a bit of a tight spot here right now. There's a big chunk of curb for Peruzzi. He will definitely lose a bit of time there. There's a replay of that moment. Oof, big send there. That just pushes James Anagnostidis a little bit wide. While there is Christian Ebras. Well, he's talking to the marshal saying, did you not see that? But the marshal's just to make sure there you're safe. It's race control that you need to talk to on that one, only race director. But they're a bit busy at the moment watching the rest of the race, and we'll probably have seen what happened there as well. The cameras certainly will, so I'm sure whatever happened will be looked at. Back for the race lead there, and Anagnostidis and Reipold have closed back into each other. The race is on between these drivers. 0.1 of a second separates these two. Ella Häkkinen's got up into third place as well. That was just off camera while we were looking at those replays. But Reipold with the fastest lap of the race, 51.7. Is really putting on the pressure now to James Anagnostidis. But the gap's opened up a bit now. It was 0.1 of a second. It's now 0.3. So he's lost time on this one. Anagnostidis looking really strong in this final. He was looking strong yesterday in the dry conditions, looked so much stronger in the wet conditions today, really shining through. But here, Kasper Reipold in second has been the one to beat this weekend. The junior driver looking on top through all of the qualifying heats yesterday and today. Ella Häkkinen, the Monegasque, looking so strong as well. Started third, currently third as well, holding on to a podium here. But Jonas Peruzzi is certainly going to make that difficult as they make their way in towards turn number 8. No changes between these top two just yet. Staying line astern. Kees Aziza, though, in 5th place. Still just there in the background, not able to close in on these two. I suspect if Peruzzi goes for the move here, Ella Häkkinen will respond. She has been quick to respond to any overtake that's been sent her way. Right now, she is focusing on just trying to close that gap, and she is doing so at the moment. Häkkinen is closing in on these two. Up ahead, Reipold and Anagnostidis really pushing as hard as they can. This was the change for the race lead. This is how Anagnostidis got past Reipold. Peruzzi followed as well. It's the early stages of the race. That brings us to this moment here. Anagnostiadis, Raypold breaking away. Oh, but Raypold's really slowing down there now. He's really slow out of the corner. Has Kasper Raypold got an issue? He is dropping off the pace here. He's got no power out of the corner. Has the number 40, the winner of the final yesterday, got a mechanical issue? I think the answer to that is yes. He is falling down the pace. He has not got the power. Häkkinen gets through into second place. Leonardus Peruzzi is going to go down the inside as well. It's all going wrong for your final winner yesterday, Kasper Raypold, who is falling down. He is fading out of this final, and this is going to allow Toby Gale Kesaziza to close back in. What has happened? He's looking down, he's smacking the steering wheel. Is he going to dive it into the pit lane? No, he's going to keep it going. He's going to push it on, he's going to persevere through the mechanical issues he is dealing with out there in this final on lap 9. Ella Häkkinen now, though, continues to be pressured by Leonardus Peruzzi in third place. This is the battle now for P2, and James Anagnostiadis is now clear by 1.6 seconds. There is nothing any of these drivers can do. They are starting to close in just by a small amount, half a tenth. Häkkinen closing the gap to 1.5 seconds now. Whatever happens to Raypold, well, he's still there. Whatever he got plagued with, he's still going. He's still like he's on the pace, the sector times. Well, he's a tenth slower through sector 1, and Toby Gale is closing in. Purple sector 1 for Toby Gale on this lap. He is really closing in for P4. But what on earth happened to Kasper Raypold? A disaster for him. So strong in the qualifying heats. But he's nursing that kart to the end here, but something tells me he's not going to be able to hold on to it. Well, this is a moment for Ella Häkkinen here. Oh, a little bit wide there, missing the first apex, missing the second apex as well. Yeah, it's a big moment there through turn number 3 and 4. Keeping the lead, though, in this battle, staying in second and still continually trying to close in on James Anagnostiadis. But now I think Anagnostiadis has just started to really start to pull the pin now. The gap has opened up now to 1.8 seconds. Nick and I do not want to fall back into the clutches of Ella Häkkinen on this one. Raypold, though, is under pressure from Toby Gale. The battle for P4 is on. And what can Raypold do? I don't think he can do anything right now. I think he's just going to lose touch of this race. It's happening just behind this battle at the moment. There you can see Ella Häkkinen and Peruzzi breaking away. There you can see Raypold and Gale. And yeah, it's Gale who's got up into 4th place now. Raypold down into P5. And just Wagon not working at full potential right now. For James Anagnostiadis, though, on lap 12, the gap increases to 1.9 seconds. Ella Häkkinen here, though. What a weekend. What a drive all the way throughout this. She's been really putting in the decent results. Yesterday was a really tough day. Saturday for Ella Häkkinen. She did have the good results. She was up there at the sharp end of the grid. P8 in qualifying heat 1 yesterday, only dropping the 1 place. Qualifying heat 2, gaining, or again, losing those 2 places as well, dropping to 9th. So it was a consistent day yesterday, but really, really struggling. And then in the final, yesterday, Ella Häkkinen finishing well down the order, dropping 6th place into P14. And right now, today, in the wet conditions and then changing into the dry conditions, she is really coming to her own right now and looking so strong here in 2nd place. Leonardus Peruzzi as well, equally just as strong, but right now is just struggling to stay on that rear bumper of Ella Häkkinen. The gap is opening up to 0.3 of a second now. It closes in this sector. That is purely the concertina effect that's kicking in. Häkkinen able to get on the power so much sooner. And Peruzzi, at this moment, not able to go for the move. You could understand that maybe he's just waiting for the right opportunity to go for it. He is still in lunge distance here, so Ella Häkkinen is not out of danger. It is just a case of when this overtake, if it happens at all. For James Anagnostiadis, he leads by 2.4 seconds from these two here, Ella Häkkinen and Linas Peruzzi. Further down in the order as well, the biggest movers. You've got to give it to Nilis Malik, 9 places at the moment that he's gained. This is the battle a little further down in the order, just very briefly on your screen. Cases, these are 5 positions gained. Vanessa Shilkanate, who's gained 5 positions. I've got to give it to Vanessa Shilkanate as well, nursing 2 injured wrists over the course of a couple of weekends ago in Valencia and yesterday here at Cremona, really showing a great performance as well. William Marshall is having a good race as well. The driver from South Africa who was on the podium yesterday is up 8 positions and is actually purple in sectors 1 and 3 on that last lap. It's not the fastest driver though. That is James Anagnostiadis, who in the virtual championship certainly helping himself out. He'll stay there in second, only 10 points behind Casper Reipold in first in the championship. Here is your race leader, continuing to break away. Now, Toby Gale, he's been a little bit sneaky here. He's closed in on these two right now. We could have a 3-car battle for second place here. Toby Gale, who was on the podium yesterday after a dismal qualifying, has had an absolute carbon copy of a day today. He is really starting to close in now. He has taken chunks out of them. Alone, the gap is down to, well, I think about 0.6 of a second now. I think it's a lot less than that. It'll be a lot less than that when they next cross the starting line. And there, confirmation, fastest lap of the race, 50.443 from Toby Gale on that last lap is, well, 3 to 4/10 of a second faster than these two here. Now, Häkkinen starting to show a little bit of defensive line here now. Peruzzi might have a chance to go for the move, and if I was Peruzzi, I would do it sooner rather than later, because Toby Gale is starting to close in here, and he knows it. He's checked over the shoulder. Peruzzi knows that he has got a challenge on his hands here, and it's in the shape of Toby Gale from Thailand. The gap is coming down. Toby Gale, who started this one well down the order in P7, currently P4, really showing great speed now, and so is Matej Vitva as well. The driver is currently down in P11, 8 positions gained. He's now got the fastest lap of the race, and that comes with the championship points as well. That'll help him out just that little bit in this one. But eyes on this one. This battle is not over. For Anagnostiadis, all he needs to do now is drive to the end, and there's the first defensive drive. Peruzzi is under more pressure from Gale than he's putting on Ella Häkkinen, and through goes Toby Gale into the top 3, and that releases Ella Häkkinen as they go on to this final lap of the race. It's James Anagnostiadis who leads the way from Ella Häkkinen, who's in second place right here. Toby Gale into third as we go on to this final lap for James Anagnostiadis. He is under no competition right now. All he needs to do is drive away. Fourth yesterday in the final. Today, he's looking for a win, but the battle for second rages on. Who will it be? Will it be Ella Häkkinen? Will it be Toby Gale? This is the ultimate question. Into the final couple of corners. It will have to be a defensive line. Could it be a run to the line between these two? It might just be James Anagnostiadis. He takes the win in day 2 here at Cremona, but it will be Ella Häkkinen who takes second place across the line. What a drive from Toby Gale. Also an incredible drive, gaining through after a terrible qualifying earlier on today. He gained so many places throughout the day, but it goes to James Anagnostiadis, who takes the win for Australia. It is James Anagnostiadis who heads back into Parc Fermé with, I'm sure, a huge smile on his face. Oh, at the end of that one, out goes the number 21. That is a huge, huge shame for Axel Nocom, who started this one 29th. Unfortunately retires at the end of that one, was battling with the likes of Sanjana Dandu, who finishes in 27th, them gaining 3 and 1 places. But at the front of it, it is James Anagnostiadis who takes the win from Ella Häkkinen, and Toby Gale. Well, what a final that has been for the OKN Junior category. A full look at the results. Leonidas Peruzzi at the end of that finishing in P4 from Kasper Reipold. He wasn't able to do the double this weekend,